From the News Hub here at Desawe Kanda, I am Portia Gabo.
And I am Martin Asiedu Data. These are the headlines for the next 1 hour.
News 360 Headlines is brought to you by
Flamingo Paint,
Pepsodent Charcoal and Pepsodent Herbal,
EcoBank.
Special courts to deal with Galamsey, cybercrime and human trafficking to be rolled out from Monday, February 9.
And also coming up tonight, state closes its case after leading 4 witnesses to testify against NPP Ashanti Regional Chairman Bernard Ntribo Isiako, popularly known as Chairman Wontumi.
Later in the bulletin, the Ghana Health Service says breast cancer awareness must go beyond slogans and the Pink October yearly events.
Coming up in business news tonight, Ghana's inflation hit historic 3.8% low in January, sparking demands for aggressive rate cuts by the central bank.
On the international front, dozens of people reportedly killed by unidentified gunmen in a ferocious attack on 2 villages in Nigeria's western state of Kwara. We are live around the world on 3news.com. We are also streaming on Facebook and on YouTube. Do send us your messages.
The news now in detail, and the Chief Executive Officer of Cocoa Board, Randy Abbey, has appealed for patience as management works to fix funding and pricing challenges that have made Ghana's cocoa less competitive on the global market. According to him, the difficulties have stemmed up from the financing model that Cocoa Board inherited, adding that a new refinancing framework is being developed to address concerns across the sector.
Cocoa Board is under pressure, grappling with falling cocoa prices, funding shortfalls, and a strained financial position that has left buyers struggling, while farmers continue to complain about delayed payments and uncertainties ahead of the next harvest. Cocoa Board Chief Executive Dr. Randy Abbey confirmed that one key challenge is that buyers find Ghanaian cocoa expensive compared to other producing countries, a situation that has contributed to wider concerns in the sector.
There is an issue, and the issue has to do with the fact that the buyers currently find our cocoa too expensive at this point as compared to how much it's being sold in other jurisdictions. And so whether you're talking about our neighbors or other cocoa producing countries, we have had to now come in and use high price cocoa to be servicing the 2,600 dollar contracts that they sold this cocoa for.
He adds that many of the current problems can be traced to the financial mess created under the erstwhile government.
The truth of the matter is that we all appreciate where the issues are today. And it is also linked to the funding model that we inherited as a result of the break in the syndication because of the financial mess that Cocoa Board found itself in. So it is quite a delicate situation. We appreciate all the issues that are being raised, but we're also working assiduously to find a solution to mop up what is left there. We have inherited a serious mess.
According to Dr. Abbey, a new refinancing framework is being developed and the board is working to address the various concerns raised. He insists, however, that the process will take time.
We are thinking through the solution. I can appreciate the anxiety, I can appreciate the concerns, I can appreciate the fears. All I would ask is that they exercise a bit of patience. The Honorable Minister of Finance, the board of Cocoa Board and the management are working to find a way out of this situation. I don't think that it will be too long. I think that, we have definitely demonstrated that we have these farmers at heart.
Now, the Chief Justice, His Lordship Paul Bafuboni, has raised concerns over the foreign nationals involved in Galamsey, questioning how they enter the country and escape even after arrest. He says this underscores the need for stronger collaboration between the Judicial Service, the Ghana Immigration Service and the Ghana Prison Service to combat the menace and other transnational crimes as the court faces heavy congestion. Samuel Yeboah Adams reports.
Illegal mining in Galamsey continues to pose a major challenge in Ghana, with foreign nationals increasingly involved. During a working visit to the Ghana Immigration Service, the Chief Justice, His Lordship Paul Bafuboni, raised concerns over the growing influx of foreign nationals into the country. He highlighted cybercrime, human trafficking and narcotic trafficking as pressing issues, noting that these crimes are contributing to a growing backlog of cases in the court. With specialized courts set to be rolled out from Monday, the Chief Justice says stronger collaboration between institutions will help fast-track cases and tackle these crimes.
In my bid to tackle congestion in courts, we have decided that we are going to set up dual morning and afternoon court system. Some judges will sit in the morning and other judges will sit in the afternoon. We intend to create special courts, and they are going to be rolled out coming Monday. These special courts are going to deal with cybercrime, Galamsey, human trafficking, cross-border crimes.
The Comptroller General of the Ghana Immigration Service, Samuel Basintali Amadou, says tougher punishment could serve as a deterrent, especially as nationals from other West African countries are increasingly getting involved in illegal mining.
Normally when we go to court, the fines are so minimal that it's not deterrent enough. With your help and support, we would want to see if those penalties could be reviewed to make them punitive. ECOWAS nationals especially, using Ghanaians to try to acquire Ghanaian citizenship. In fact, we are collaborating with NIA. They start with the Ghana card. So we are going to deploy our men to assist the NIA. We are the people who fish them out at the passport offices. So this is one area that we can do a lot to help Ghana.
The Chief Justice also made a stop at the Ghana Prison Service headquarters to deliberate on how collaboration between the Judicial Service and the Ghana Prison Service can help address congestion in the prisons.
Let's now go to the courts, where the state has closed its case after leading 4 witnesses to testify against the NPP Ashanti Regional Chairman Bernard Entry-Boisiako, popularly referred to as Chairman Wontumi. The NPP Ashanti Regional Chairman has been jointly charged with Akonta Mining Company Limited on a total of 4 counts relating to the assignment of mineral rights without approval and facilitating unlicensed mining operations. Dodido Asare has more.
Bernard Boisiako Entry, also known as Chairman Wontumi, together with his company Akonta Mining, have pleaded not guilty to the charges and are on bail. Director of Akonta Mining, Kwame Entry, who is currently on the run, is also facing 2 counts of assignment of mineral rights without approval and purposely facilitating an unlicensed mining operation. On Wednesday, February 4, prosecution's 4th and final witness, an official from the Minerals Commission, told the court during cross-examination by counsel for Bernard Boisiako Entry that there was no record at the commission indicating that Chairman Wontumi's company applied for the land minister's approval to assign or transfer mineral rights to any individual. Lead counsel for Bernard Boisiako Entry, Andy Apiakubi, suggested to the prosecution witness that there was no legal assignment between Akonta Mining and Henry Okum, prosecution's second witness, to the knowledge of the Minerals Commission and all other agencies of state. Joseph Iroko, however, responded that it would rehash what he had outlined in his witness statement. After the defense lawyers completed their cross-examination, Deputy Attorney General Dr. Justice Remsai indicated that the prosecution had closed its case. And the Apiakubi then prayed the courts for adequate time to file the submission of no case for Bernard Boisiako Entry and Akonta Mining, adding that due to the technicality of the case, 4 weeks would be prudent. Presiding Judge Audrey Kokuvite then adjourned the case to February 18 and ordered the defense lawyers to file the submission of no case in 14 days. In the event the court finds merit in the submission of no case, Wontumi would be discharged. However, if a prima facie is established, he will be directed to open his defense. Lord Idwasari, TV3 News, Accra.
Meanwhile, Deputy Attorney General Dr. Justice Swemsai has indicated that the state will oppose Wontumi's submission of no case. He made the post on his social media platform, X.
The Vice President, Professor Jane Opoku-Agyeman, has urged Africans to shift from dependency to self-reliance, emphasizing the role of the youth, women and SMEs in a new integration agenda. She was speaking at this year's Africa Prosperity Dialogue in Accra.
The Africa Prosperity Dialogue 2026 on the theme Empowering SMEs, Women and Youth in Africa's Single Market, Innovate, Collaborate and Trade aims to unlock Africa's full potential by empowering small and medium-sized enterprises, women and youth who are the driving forces behind the continent's growth, innovation and job creation. The event attracted over 6,000 participants from more than 100 countries, including policymakers, business leaders and investors. The Vice President, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, said the African Continental Free Trade Area offers a historic opportunity to unite 1.3 billion people, yet fewer than 20% of SMEs engage in export trade, limiting prosperity for Africa's people. She said governments must create long-term policies, strengthen finance institutions, and integrate borders to enable entrepreneurs across Africa to access a single connected market.
The idea of a reset is to move us from dependency to self-reliance, from fragmentation to integration, from exporting potential to building prosperity at home. The vision of Africa as a single integrated economic space remains unfinished. Whether this reflects the constraints of imagination or the execution, we must remember what is at stake, and that is prosperity for Africa's people. Our borders should connect us.
Chairperson of the Africa Prosperity Network, Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, highlighted the need for Africa to move beyond being mere consumers of technology and instead contribute to its development, particularly in artificial intelligence, AI.
Africa's development must be driven by its people, drawing on the full potential of its women and youth. Africa's single market is rooted not only in policy, but in history, in struggle, and in collective aspiration.
Meanwhile, the executive chairman of the Africa Prosperity Dialogue, Gabi Asare Otredako-Mensah, is urging leaders to speed up the implementation of treaties for free movement and trade. He stressed that a free visa policy and mobile money interoperability are key for a single African market benefiting SMEs across the continent. These and more came up in an interaction with my colleague Noble Crosby Annan on the sidelines of the Africa Prosperity Dialogue.
What we are seeking to do, apart from just bringing them together, is also to put some pressure, positive pressure, positive legitimate pressure on the political leadership to implement the treaties and protocols that they have adopted, signed up to, which will allow us to move freely, trade freely, and if you like, prosper freely. You know, so I think really that's one of the main focuses of or the main focus, if you like. There are a lot of things that we are focusing on, but it's the main focus of APD 2026.
And it brings into mind the question about, having a single market for the continent so that the after idea will be able to progress as we expect it to be. But so far, is there anything we can do to increase the progress of work?
They are making progress. I think the issue is the speed of the progress. They can accelerate the momentum. It doesn't have the needed momentum that we think is required in order to achieve things quite quickly. And, I'm of the view that if AFCFTA is to work, then it needs to be helped to have an impact that the ordinary African, the African SME, can feel. And how do we achieve that? There are things that can be done. We need free visas. I don't understand why we travel across the continent and we have to get visas.
In more news this evening, the policy document for the 24-hour economy program has been presented to Parliament for scrutiny and approval by the House to give effect to its implementation. This follows months of minorities' demand for such documents to allow proper oversight. A bill establishing the 24-hour economy authority has also been laid.
In 2025, especially in the last sitting of that year, the minority made repeated demands for official document for flagship programs like the 24-hour economy, 1 million coders program, national apprenticeship program, among others. They made the claim that although government had launched those programs and Parliament approved substantial budgetary allocations, legislators did not have the official documentations to scrutinize those programs. And so it raised a question about transparency and accountability. Today in Parliament, the Majority Leader, Mahama Yariga, has presented the policy document for the 24-hour economy, and it has been referred to the Committee on Economy and Development for consideration.
Something that Honorable Kojo Oppong Nkrumah has been advocating, and we have so dutifully listened and responded to him. A very comprehensive document on the 24-hour economy. So the 24-hour economy and accelerated export development program, based on a request that has been made by my friends in the minority, for this report to be laid so that it can be shared among members of the House.
And it is referred to the Committee on Economy and Development for consideration and report.
In addition to the policy document, the bill which is establishing the 24-hour economy authority has been laid and forwarded to the relevant committee. Now, for the ranking member on the Economy and Development Committee, this is a giant gain, but it doesn't end there, because they are going to do a further scrutiny of the policy document as well as the bill.
Because it's the real foundation of the work that you are doing as a government. It's what helps you yourself to even measure and track the work you are doing, whether it's the minority or civil society or citizens in general. That's how come you can track and see the work that is going on. So we'll continue the advocacy. And we're not just asking for the documents to file, we're asking for it so that we can go into it and use it for the oversight function of Parliament. So you can rest assured that we're going to use these documents to track the implementation of these programs.
The Ofoase Arabi Member of Parliament also touched on the inflation figures and says, although the figures in the books are positive, they do not commiserate with the daily living realities of Ghanaians.
As I'm hearing that figure, I'm also getting a lot of messages from people who are saying that what they see on the market doesn't exactly correspond with that. I'm sure when the government statistician appears before us, we'll have an opportunity to interrogate the data that they have and match it to what is really happening.
There are a raft of bills that have been proposed. Also, there are legislative instruments and regulations that the House is expected to consider in this sitting, which is predominantly going to be led by the presentation of the State of the Nation address by the President. Christian Yali, TV3 News, Parliament.
Away from Parliament, October is dubbed Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Campaigns, walks and social media posts during the month remind women to check their breasts. But once the month ends, the noise fades, but the Ghana Health Service says awareness must be a continuous process. Christabel Success Trevor reports.
Breast cancer remains one of the leading causes of cancer-related deaths among women in Ghana. According to the World Health Organization, an estimated 2.3 million women were diagnosed with breast cancer globally in 2022, with about 670,000 deaths recorded. While only 1 in 27 women is diagnosed with breast cancer in her lifetime, 1 in 48 women will die from the disease. Health experts say early detection through regular screening significantly improves survival rates. However, despite years of awareness campaigns, many women still report to health facilities when the disease is already at an advanced stage.
Early screening also helps us to detect the condition, and we can also manage it on time. When it comes to those that are affected, because of the late screening, we are also looking at financial constraint. We are also looking at stigma. A lot of people, when they have it, they don't want to come out. They keep it to themselves, so before they realize it is too late.
Across the country, non-governmental organizations and advocacy groups continue to lead breast cancer education and screening exercises, especially during Breast Cancer Awareness Month. However, many of these initiatives are periodic rather than continuous. For many women, the decision to undergo screening is influenced by cost, fear, and access. While some say they rely only on self-examination, others do not screen at all.
I didn't check it before. Always, I did it like this. Nothing inside. Every year,
personnel come to our office to have the breast screening.
As for me, I don't know that boys can get breast cancer.
In most communities, mammography centers remain limited, and routine screening is often viewed as optional rather than essential. The Ghana Health Service says awareness must go beyond slogans.
For the early detection, we are happy that the government is rolling out a free primary health care program, which we think at least the screening in terms of the examination is one of the things that we can leverage on. And we have already learned lessons from the support we've gotten from Japaigo, which we think will help us a lot.
Experts also stress the importance of education that demystifies breast cancer and addresses cultural misconceptions that discourage early reporting.
We encourage everybody to go to the facility to conduct have him or herself screen. It is not only the women that get breast cancer, So even our fathers, we encourage our men to also go out and screen.
Breast cancer awareness has increased over the years, but the health experts warn that many are still not screening regularly. They warn that until screenable, late detection will continue to put lives at risk. Christabel Success Trevor, Ghana Health Service, Accra.
Still on medical issues, the medical laboratory workers at the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital have called off their strike just hours after it began, but say that the decision should not be mistaken for satisfaction, warning that key concerns remain unresolved. The brief industrial action on Wednesday disrupted laboratory services and left patients uncertain about when critical tests would resume. Deborah Abamensa was at the laboratory unit at Korle Bu and has come through this report.
The Medical Laboratory Professional Workers Union described the suspension as a reluctant concession made in interest of patient care. According to the union, long-standing leadership and logistical challenges are already affecting healthcare delivery. They revealed that the situation has become so dire that even some health workers admitted to the ward cannot be properly diagnosed.
This is actually affecting service delivery, and people's lives are even perishing for it. As we speak, we have colleagues, our own colleagues on admission in the ward, and because we do not have logistics, nobody knows what is even wrong with them. This is a situation we should not allow. So if we can suffer this situation, then you can imagine what is happening to the ordinary Ghanaian.
Among their demands is the appointment of a director of allied health to report directly to the hospital's chief executive officer. The workers are also raising concerns about what they describe as an opaque process to privatize or outsource laboratory services.
We are demanding for transparency. Whatever management intends to do, we are there as workers to support them. So it is our wish that they will open up enough for us to interrogate the process, that we will also benefit at the end of the day.
In that some of the union's requests require strict adherence to public service procedures.
There are public service regulations and policies that cannot violate. You have to go through the process. And we have to explain it for them to understand that this was a kind. To create a directory is not an administrative function that management can just take up to do. You have to have a job description for the directors. You have to have a scheme of service for the regular. You have to have an established all these statutory processes that cannot be sidestepped.
While acknowledging that labor agitations may occur from time to time, he stressed the board's commitment to resolving concerns through continued engagement.
We have agitation from time to time and worker youth as management and board. We are committed to resolving same. We've been engaging them for the past year to resolve all their issues. At some point, they were not happy with the rate of progress of the engagement, and that has been resolved.
For now, calm has returned to the hospital, but the union says it will closely monitor the promised appointment and administrative processes, a sign that although the strike has been suspended, the underlying discontent has yet to be fully addressed.
Let's now go to the Western region, where residents of Axim, a fishing community, may soon heave a sigh of relief as the contractor working on the breakwater and sea defense project has assured of completion within the 18-month timeline. During a site inspection, the Western Regional Minister Joseph Nelson reaffirmed government's full commitment to completing the project. Irama Smith has more.
The second phase of the project, which aims to protect the property and livelihoods of Axim's residents, includes a 550-meter breakwater, sea defenses, and a safe base for fishing activities. Work began in 2024 but was halted due to technical and financial challenges before resuming earlier this year. Project engineer of Makam Plant Hire, Benjamin Emisa, stated that the work is now 45% complete and assured the project will be completed within the 18-month timeline. He added that the project features 11 culverts designed to solve chronic flooding and address the poor drainage system in the area.
What we are here to achieve is to protect the built-up area, because the community is largely a fisherfolk community. So in protecting the built-up area, we also have to take into consideration their livelihood, because they are basically, fishermen. So the concept is to, one, protect their built-up area, their structures, and also to create a bay which is so friendly for their fishing activities.
Western Regional Minister Joseph Nelson, who inspected the site, commended the contractor for the progress made and reaffirmed government's full commitment to ensuring the project's completion in order to safeguard both the environment and the community.
Survival is very important, in this day and age when issues of unemployment are at the front burner, where people have a mainstay. The commonsensical thing to do is to protect, this livelihood so that they're able to sustain them.
In more news this evening, the University of Gold Coast has matriculated 600 students into a new specialist MBA program, marking a key milestone in the university's postgraduate expansion. Management says the strong enrollment shows growing national confidence in the university and its practical, market-focused approach to professional education in Ghana and beyond.
The matriculation ceremony marked the official admission of the pioneer cohort into the university's academic community. The students were largely drawn from key professional fields, including banking and finance, telecommunications, and other critical sectors of the economy. Chancellor of the University of Gold Coast, Bishop Dr. Gideon Titi Ofer, explained the purpose of the specialist MBA and encouraged professionals seeking a competitive and practical program to consider it.
Our MBA is flexible learning. We have considered what we call the executive modular approach, where you come here once a month to study and go with your assignments and other things. We have different forms of assessment that ensure that if you are a very busy corporate executive, your life is still comfortable. And we bring into our lecture room industry professionals. So we have teaching fellows, we have industry fellows, and then we have the professors of practice who bring the boardroom to the classroom.
In his matriculation address, Professor Samuel Neil Dai urged the student to remain focused and strive for academic excellence throughout the program.
To our students, treat time as a resource. Learn from your faculty. Collaborate with your colleagues. Support one another. And carry yourselves with dignity, because you are now ambassadors of this great university.
Structured around 6 career-focused specializations, including finance, data analytics and business intelligence, marketing and communication, among others, management says the UGC Specialist MBA is tailored to meet the needs of Accra's growing population of busy professionals and business executives.
You're still watching News 360 on TV3. We have the latest in the world of business, sports and entertainment coming right up.
I love President Charcoal. Why? When there are so many other charcoal toothpaste. That's both charcoal and lemon. Oh, does it? Yes. Look right here.
I am Michael Obudu. Now, Ghana's annual inflation rate fell to a nearly three-decade low of 3.8% in January 2026. This milestone has heightened demands for the Bank of Ghana to consider a fifth consecutive policy rate cut. Industry analysts are suggesting a reduction of 200 to 300 basis points to significantly lower borrowing costs and stimulate economic growth.
The pace of the slowdown in inflation rate has been remarkable. The January 2026 figure of 3.8% represents a massive 19.7% drop from the 23.5% recorded in January 2025. This is a 13th consecutive decline in inflation. It also reflects a significant cooling from December 2025, where inflation stood at 5.4%, a 1.6 percentage points decline in just 1 month. Government statistician Dr. Alassane Idrisu believes the economy is progressing towards price stability.
It is the lowest inflation rate recorded since the CPI rebasing in 2021. This sustained decline signals that Ghana is firmly on a path towards price stability.
Finance and tax analyst Nelson Kuju Kwabeji recounts the drivers under disinflationary pressures.
We have seen relative stability of food prices in the market right from last quarter of 2025 till now. From last quarter of last year, we have seen reduction in fuel prices, which means that transportation costs has also remained relatively stable. Stability of the Ghana cedi has also helped in the sense that imported food inflation has also reduced marginally.
Dr. Idrisu urged government to lock in these gains through strict fiscal discipline and targeted agricultural investment.
For government, it's important to sustain the fiscal discipline, continue efforts to stabilize food prices, and invest in storage, irrigation, transport, and market access to reduce regional disparities.
Now that inflation has hit a historic low of 3.8% and the policy rate has been reduced to 15.5%, Kwabeji says all eyes are on the Bank of Ghana as the Monetary Policy Committee prepares to meet in March 2026.
I think cost of capital needs to go down further. And so we think that the policy rate or the benchmark ratio come down by some 200 to 300 basis points to about 12.5%, so that the Ghana reference rate, which is currently at 14.58%, can also come down. And once all these variables come down, we expect lending rate to also come down significantly.
The Minister for Finance, Dr. Kasia Lato-Forson, says the country is set to establish its first modern fire assay laboratory. During an inspection tour of the Ghana Gold Refinery in Gold Coast Refinery in Accra, the minister described the refinery as a significant milestone in the country's industrialization drive and broader economic transformation agenda.
The Finance Minister, Dr. Kasia Lato-Forson, undertook the visit together with the Chief Executive Officer of Gold Board, Sami Gyamfi. They were guided around the facility by executives of the Gold Coast Refinery. Dr. Lato-Forson commended the management and staff of the refinery for what he termed the successful establishment and operation of a world-class gold processing facility. He said the refinery embodies a vision first articulated by President Mahama in 2016 that Ghana must refine its own gold locally and retain greater value from its natural resources rather than exporting unprocessed bullion.
This refinery today that has the capacity to do 2 tons, and now with an understanding that will begin with 1 per week, has employed approximately 162 workers. And they are adding value to our gold. They are going to operate 24 hours, in line with our 24-hour economic policy. For the first time, you will be able to see a gold bar stamped in the name of Ghana Gold Board and the Central Bank of the Republic of Ghana.
The Finance Minister, Dr. Kasia Lato-Forson, said with a refining capacity of up to 2 tons of gold per week, the country is gradually shifting from the traditional model of exporting raw gold to exporting fully refined Ghanaian gold.
Our next policy line will be to encourage Ghana Gold Board to, latest by the end of the year, have a fire assay lab, so that all large-scale mining companies will take their gold through fire assay at the gold board lab.
for us to ascertain the true value of our royalties. By the end of the year, Ghana will have its first ever fire assay lab for us to get the true value of our royalties.
He emphasized that the transition will deepen value addition within the mining sector, create skilled employment opportunities, and significantly strengthen the nation's foreign exchange earnings.
And that'll be all for the business segment here on News 360. I am Michael Obodu. We'll bring you updates now from the currency and the commodities market.
Sports segment is brought to you by Sasso Insecticide Spray and Coil.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to the sports segment here on News 360. My name is Bill Ishe. Now to a first story, former France international and 1998 FIFA World Cup winner Marcel Desailly has tipped Côte d'Ivoire and Senegal as Africa's most realistic contenders to reach the final of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. The legendary defender made these remarks in Abidjan during the FIFA World Cup Trophy Tour presented by Coca-Cola.
It has grown quite a lot. I mean, over the years, we are pleased that FIFA has been enough smart to try and give access to the competition to more teams, which now we have this World Cup 48 teams and 9 for Africa, which is great. It's just amazing. So yes, when you look at most of the team now in Africa, you can see that inside the team there is a lot of first choice player in Europe. You see, so the potential is there, the quality is there, the belief is there. So yes, I would say that as Morocco did for reaching the semi-final, Senegal can do the same thing. Ivory Coast can also pretend on something if they get into the dynamic they had for the African Con, the one at home that they played and win. So yes, I believe that. No, but it comes from a long way. We lose a lot of players because our academy are not up to the level. Our league in the various African countries are also not up to the level to be able to maintain the player and grow them up before eventually they go to Europe. And so we lose a lot of players who are not yet ready for the high level. They go early in Europe and they don't succeed.
Now to our second story, from Antoine Semenyo to Andre Ayew, Ghanaian players have been on the move in the January transfer window. Now my colleague Andrew Sefabamfo takes a closer look at the top 5 Ghanaian transfers in the winter.
The 2025-2026 January transfer window has concluded, and here are 5 Ghanaian players who secured moves from their respective clubs to new clubs. Top of the list is Antoine Semenyo, who moved from Bournemouth to Manchester City for £65 million, becoming the most expensive Ghanaian transfer in the process. Semenyo has already hit the ground running at Man City, providing 5 goal contributions in his first 5 games for the club. Next up on the list is Majid Ashimeru. Injuries have robbed Ghanaians of seeing the best of the midfielder, who at 28 is nearing the peak of his powers. Ashimeru also moved from RC Anderlecht to join Belgian side La Louvre. Jonas Ajeti had no second thought when Wolfsburg came calling, as the Ghanaian moved from FC Barca after spending 3 years in Switzerland, joining Wolfsburg on a 4.5-year deal. Ajeti will be looking to add to his 7 caps when the World Cup rolls around in the summer. Fourth on the list is Ibrahim Sulemana. After enjoying stint at Bologna and then Atalanta, Ibrahim Sulemana has rejoined his former club Cagliari until the end of the season, who also will be looking to put behind his injury worries and then stake a claim as to why he should be taken to the World Cup by Otuado. And finally on the list is Andre Ayew. After 8 months, Andre Ayew is back in action, joining Dutch side NEC Breda, who are currently battling for survival in the Eredivisie. Andre Ayew would also be hoping to stake a claim as to why Otuado should include him on the plane to the 2026 FIFA World Cup.
Now to our final story, Ghana's 100-meter record holder Abdul Rashid Saminu aims to medal for Ghana in the 2026 sprint season after securing his first professional contract with Japanese sportswear brand ASICS. His contract runs until 2028. The University of Ghana alumni is expected to compete for Ghana at the World Relay Championships, the Senior Athletics Championships, and the Commonwealth Games this year, donning the ASICS brand.
My schedule is not out yet, but it's all put in place. I speak with the president of Ghana, the Ghana Athletics president. So he said, if I'm ready. I said, yeah, I'm ready this season. I'm fully fit, no injuries. New season, I will open my season, my indoor season next month on the 13th at Texas Tech. So African Championships is there. I'll be there to represent Ghana. I'm happy and honored. Commonwealth, World Relay, that will be the first major competition in Botswana. So we'll pack our stuffs and come meet over there. And hopefully we come for the gold this time. Yeah.
And that's it for the sports segment here on News 360. My name is Bill Ishen. There's more on the bulletin after the break.
Welcome to the entertainment news segment here on News 360. I'm Esiedwa Afeni. Starting off, Ghanaian musician Stonebwoy has shared his thoughts on the ongoing debate over whether Kotoka International Airport should be renamed Accra International Airport, stressing that any decision must ultimately promote national upliftment and positive image of the country.
So when the name goes back to Accra International Airport, for whatever reason, I would believe that the reasons are clear, the reasons are politically accurate, the reasons are very nationalistic. I would believe so. But should this change and it doesn't reflect any upliftment, then I think I wouldn't side for that. But if it's going to reflect upliftment and uplift a positive narrative about this nation, I'm for that. And the history will tell us how he participated in the coup d'etat that would have dethroned, Kwame Nkrumah. So that is the narrative that has been tagged around him for the name change of the airport. So there's a school of thought that insists that he does not represent a good statue for the state. I think that is the reason. I do not want to dig into it too much because I don't believe that one human being can be so evil all his life. There must be some good aspects. So for the fact that he got to be named after the airport, maybe because of his good parts.
In more entertainment stories, renowned Ghanaian rapper and producer EL has urged musicians to be cautious when entering record label agreements, warning against signing contracts without proper understanding or expert advice. He described the practice of hastily signing record deals as savage, advising talented artists to take their time and fully access what they are committing to. Drawing from personal experience, EL revealed that a past record deal forced him to withdraw from music for a period while he worked to untangle himself from a complicated agreement. I wouldn't advise anyone to sign a record deal blindly, he noted. The Coco composer emphasized the importance of seeking legal counsel, ensuring proper documentation, and gaining complete clarity on all terms before signing any agreement. That's it for entertainment. I'm Esiedwa Afeni. Over to you, Portia.
Thank you so much. Coming up, international news.
Dozens of people have reportedly been killed by unidentified gunmen in a ferocious attack on two villages in Nigeria's western state of Kwara. The attackers are reported to have set fire to shops and homes, along with the residence of the traditional leader, forcing the residents of Nuku and Woro to flee. A Red Cross official told the AFP news agency the death toll had gone up to 162. The attack, one of several across Nigeria in the last 24 hours, comes as the defense minister confirmed that a small team of U.S. troops was in the country to help with intelligence and training. Nigeria faces an array of security challenges, including criminal gangs known locally as bandits who loot and kidnap for ransom, an Islamist insurgency, clashes over land, and separatist unrest. U.S. President Donald Trump has said he had a very positive call with Chinese President Xi Jinping on Wednesday about trade and security issues, even as Beijing warned Washington about arms sales to Taiwan. 2 months before Trump is expected to visit Beijing, Xi agreed to hike soybean purchases from the U.S. to 20 million tons in the current season, up from 12 million tons previously. Soybean futures rallied sharply after the announcement. The ailing U.S. Farm Belt is a major domestic political constituency for Trump, and China is a major consumer.
Welcome back from the international news. Well, that's it for the package. My name is Martin Asiedu Dati.
And I am Portia Gabodu. Join Alfredo Cancer at 10 p.m. for Ghana Tonight. Good evening.